I used to be this guy who felt anxious every time that I had a day off. I was so sure that I needed to be productive every freaking day, every freaking hour, every freaking minute and second, that I forgot how to enjoy life. Even at times when I was out with my girlfriend or with my friends, I just couldn't enjoy it fully. I always had this, something in the back of my mind that felt more important, and I always felt guilty in enjoying myself. I could have been so much more relaxed with everything. And this is something that I've only realized in recent years. When you think about nature, about any animal, do you really think that they feel that they need to do something all the time? Imagine a fox in a forest, in his forest den. Oh shit, I have to wake up so early tomorrow because I have this meeting with these other foxes. It's just ridiculous. We are nothing more than animals. We have just overcomplicated life so much that even we ourselves don't know what the hell are we doing. We have this freaking thing called society, which has these rules, so many unwritten rules, and even more written rules and laws and whatnot. And I know it's supposed to be something that separates us from animals. Or not, we still are animals. We still have our instincts. And I think somewhere along the way we just learn to ignore them. Because if you look at animals in nature, they're not lazy. And also, they're not constantly stressed. A fox hunts when it needs to hunt. It rests when it needs to rest. It explores when it feels curious. And it doesn't sit there thinking, am I falling behind compared to other foxes? Should I build a bigger den? Or maybe I should wake up at 4 a.m. to optimize my hunting strategy. It just lives. The funny thing is that for most of human history, we lived closer to that rhythm too. Work, rest, be with other people, be in nature. But somewhere along the way we created this culture of constant optimization. Always improve, always grow, always do more. And don't get me wrong, I'm not against ambition. I love building things, I love creating things, I love chasing ideas that excite me. But you have to understand that there's a huge difference between creating something from excitement and working from anxiety. And for a long time, I didn't understand that difference. Everything felt urgent, everything felt important. If I wasn't doing something productive, I felt like I was wasting my life. Ironically, that mindset actually made me feel like I'm stuck. Because if every moment has to be optimized, then nothing can be simply enjoyed. You can't enjoy a walk because maybe you should be working. You can't enjoy time with friends because maybe you should be building something. And you can't enjoy a simple rest because your brain is constantly whispering that you should be doing more. You should be doing something more. You know that feeling, right? And that voice is exhausting because everywhere you look, there's pressure. Pressure to move faster, pressure to produce more, pressure to become something. And after a while, you start believing that life is some kind of race. But a race to where? That's the strange part. Nobody ever stops to ask that question. You go to school, you get a job, try to build a career, you try to build a life. And all of that is fine. But somewhere in that process, many people lose the ability to just be, to sit somewhere quietly, to watch trees move in the wind, listen to the birds without thinking that they should be doing something more important. Nature doesn't rush. Trees don't rush. Rivers don't rush. The seasons don't rush. And yet everything still happens. Spring arrives, leaves grow, animals find food. Life just continues. There's a rhythm to it. And I think humans once lived much closer to that rhythm. But today, many of us live almost entirely inside our heads, always planning something, always thinking about something, always projecting ourselves into the future. But you have to understand that life never actually happens in the future. It only ever happens here, right now, in this moment. And the strange thing is that when you finally slow down enough to start noticing it, then you realize that there's no hurry. That life happens either way. It doesn't matter if you're in a hurry or not. And that's the part that's so freeing. Just be.